Welcome back to the channel. I wish you a happy new year. As you can see, in the last year I got the chance to test quite a lot of keyboards, and on this table I have accumulated the best of the best to give you a little buyer's guide for 2025. So these are the best keyboards and what to keep in mind when you upgrade your setup for 2025. But before we get to it, a word from our sponsor.
Imagine this, you're in a fast-paced gaming session, rapid triggering all over the place, you hit the delete button by accident, you delete an important file, your homework that you need tomorrow, that's the worst possible time. So what can you do? Well, don't worry, check it out. That's Recoverit by Wondershare. We have arrived at version 13.5, and with the brand new version comes a beautiful user interface. Saying that it is extremely intuitive is an understatement. Look at that, we have SD card recovery, and we even have advanced options like enhanced recovery from NAS systems as well as Linux systems, and we even have professional features built in like video repair for corrupted videos, a top-of-the-line, top-tier professional recover tool. Recoverit is the market leader when it gets to data recovery and especially to device compatibility. It is secure, it's reliable, and all in all a powerful recovery tool for any device. And as I said, it is extremely intuitive and easy to use. So let me demonstrate with this USB drive. Just plug it in, it will pop up straight away. This drive is completely empty. The quick scan was completed in a matter of seconds, and now it's doing the deep scan. It will literally search through every bit of data, and then it will give you a list of all the files right there, and it will also group them by file type. For example, we have the pictures, we have the videos, but we can also check it out by the directory. So let's check out all the pictures on this device, and this is basically like a way back machine, like a time machine. With this tool you can not only recover your lost or deleted data, but you can also take a look into the past. As you can see, there are many pictures on this drive. That is actually crazy, and you can recover each of them or preview them with just one mouse click. Same for videos, and when you're done, just click down here on recover. You can download it for free and do a free scan, and of course with the most popular premium subscription you can find, restore, and even repair all sorts of files from all sorts of devices. So check it out right now. It's the first link in the description. Version 13.5. It's looking great, it's super fast, it performs like a champ. So all of these premium features only with Recoverit.
New drip. Before we get to each of these keyboards in detail, I want to give you my thoughts and my experience on how to decide which keyboard is best for you. Most interestingly, the software as well as customizability of all these keyboards is very similar. All of them offer a great backlight, many dynamic lighting variations, tons of customization, remapping, key mapping, actuation depths, and all of that good stuff. So here are the most important aspects. So the software side as well as the customization is very similar for all of these products. So the deciding factor, in my opinion, would be the form factor. We have super compact designs. These are the new keyboards from Attack Shark, as well as this one right here. It's from Ajazz, but these are connected, and the Keychron K2. So these are super compact form factors, these are a bit bigger, and then we of course have the fully fledged keyboards with the numpad, even screens, and all of that good stuff. And secondly, is a mechanical keyboard enough for you, or do you actually want the customization craziness of the HE triggers? Of course, the more magnetic switches, the more expensive, and this one also goes for the full-size keyboards, just mechanical or HE. All of these are great boards, and the Keychron Q5 is by far the most premium board I have ever tested. Absolutely incredible, full metal build. So the sound differences are also an important factor. The more premium, the better it sounds, in my opinion. This one is just amazing. So without further ado, let me show you the software as well as a typing test for each of these keyboards, starting from the smallest to the bigger ones and then to the largest ones. Now check this out. We have the carbon mouse pad, the mouse, which is super light and extremely fast. The palm rest as well as the Pro keyboard. And when it gets to the software, you can download the software for each keyboard. Beautiful backlight straight out of the box, by the way. But you can also simply go to qmk.top. This will recognize your device, or as in my case, I had to download additional drivers, and then this web app will simply recognize the keyboard, and here you can set up everything. So first of all, down here we can change the language. It's on English. We have the X65 Pro connected over USB. We can reset the device and also switch between different keyboards. Up here we have the Attack Shark logo, and we have the main, the function settings, the macros, all the light settings, and we can also share and upload profiles as well as download them from the community. For this we need to register an account, and here we also have the account tab, and lastly the about. Here we can also upgrade the IoT version as well as the firmware version of the actual device. So back to the main page, the app is super responsive. So first of all we have the remapping of the keys. So the G switch, for example, it's currently set to G, and we can change that to a key combination, to a macro, to media settings, or even mouse buttons. So mouse left, for example, confirm that, and now the G is the left mouse button. Actually right makes more sense. Now when I press the G, check this out, works without any issues. You can remap every key and even reset them very easily. And we can also customize the dial. So we have the U-, U+, and the mute. So when we turn it, currently it will regulate the volume as well as mute it and unmute it. Aside from the key remapping, we of course can also fully customize the key stroke, and that's the actuation depth. And this can also be done for each and every key. So for example, this one, here we can also simulate or actually visualize the depth when we press it. So right there, halfway through and all the way. And we also have the press down in blue and the release in orange. So it can not only detect the actuation depth, but also the way or the actual travel downwards or upwards. We can set dead zones, and here we can also set the press depth as well as the release depth. And rapid triggering is also possible right there. We have a little tutorial for each and every mode right there, or for every setting that we can change, which is super nice to have, super helpful. But there is more. We have shaft settings as well. This is what it looks like. We can activate it for all buttons, and we even have advanced settings. And here we can set up combinations of different actuation triggers that will activate different things. And as you can see, for each key you can select up to 4 key functions, 2 for the down, 2 for the up movement. You can play around with all these settings. Resetting the whole keyboard just takes a few seconds, so you can't go wrong, you can't mess it up. This is crazy for gaming. And lastly, we have the auto standby modes, and we can read out the current configuration. So after 300 seconds of inactivity, the lights will turn off. It will go into a standby mode to save power. Let's move on to the functions. So with the function button right here, we can switch to a whole different key map. And this is where you can define all of these functionalities. For example, right there, we have my computer, brightness. So on the L, for example, it will open up the my computer. H, it will go brightness down or up. So aside from the main key maps, where you also have 4 different layers, you can also use the function button to basically get a 5th layer that you can also use for macros aside from the functions. And talking about macros, we also have a professional recorder available. So we can simply start a record. This is what it will look like. When it stops, it will get added to the list of macros. And we can also redefine, add or modify or delete all these records. So modify this to J and modify the milliseconds to 500, for example. Super simple, super quick. And lastly, let's check out all the awesome light modes. And this is what it will look like in the app. We have the light edit for individual customization for each and every key. Okay, save that. But this actually demonstrates the keycaps extremely nicely, because look at that. When we pick a green one, for example, and mark these, then you can see that the actual letters will actually light up in the colors. So these will light up in white, these in red, these in green. That's a bad green, but let's take orange, for example. Now check that out. Isn't that awesome? We can save these presets, then they will stack up right here. But there are also presets from the software. As you can see, there is a lot. So for example, dynamic breathing. And right here we can change the speed as well as the brightness. And we also have a dazzle modifier. This will basically add colors. Without it, it's usually white, just white. But of course, we will demonstrate the full colors. So we have dynamic breathing. We have the spectrum cycle right there. This is called drift. And all of them are at max speed. This is waves ripple, and as you can see, this is a dynamic one, and I love the transparent keys. It looks amazing. This is stars twinkle right there. We have the steady stream, and we can also return this pattern right there. We have shadowing right there. Let me actually lower the speed, then it will leave a trail just like that. And this is it without dazzle, so as you can see now it's white basically. This is peaks rising right there. We have the sine wave right there. This is Kai Spring surging right there. This is called flowers blooming, a beautiful effect right there. That's a fun one. This is called the laser. Pew, 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 pew. This is peak turn right there. This is a freaky 3D effect called colorful vertical and horizontal. This one right there is snow falling. This is called meteor. This is through the snow. With lower speed, this looks pretty cool. And we can also upload user pictures, and there is also a music follow mode and a few more cool modes. Now let's go back to the laser, because this should be fun for the actual typing test. So enjoy the sound of this awesome keyboard. Right on, 80, pretty precise, and it sounds amazing. Love it. Absolutely massive thumbs up from my side. What an amazing keyboard. Now look at that, it's so beautiful. That's the default mode right there. I have already hooked it up to the setup, and we have the screen right here. As you can see, the uptime, the date, the mode, and when we switch it up, then it will also change right there. Mac, Win, Mac, Win. This will change in real time. We have the USB, we have the Bluetooth and the 2.4G. And right here we can also see the caps lock right there. And again, the switches are up here, and you can easily connect it with the cable. Just hook it into the PC, and just like that we can control it. And typing feels amazing. The keys are so nice, and that's the sound when you type. So that's a next level top tier keyboard right there, with the ability to quickly exchange all sorts of keycaps. And we also have this dial right there. Currently we can use it to modify the loudness, which is really nice. And when you click it, you can mute the sound. You can configure the LED, backlight, and much more, but just the looks, it's amazing. What a great keyboard, and now for this awesome price, it's unbelievable. I can absolutely recommend it. This is not a dedicated software, but a, well, they call it launcher. It's a web UI control software basically. So let's connect to it, connect plus right there. It got recognized immediately, and now let's click on connect and check this out. Wow, fully fledged software right there, and it will get saved to the keyboard locally. That is just awesome. Wow, this is actually way more extensive and way better than expected. Now check this out. HE mode, key map, lighting, macros, firmware update, key test, that's awesome, bug report. And we also have settings down here. So let's start here. So we have the language, we have the device info right here. We even have logs and JSON export, I guess. Then we have the HE mode. So this is the magnetic sensing, and this is where we can set the actuation point, or actually the distance. We have 3 different profiles, and we also have the option to calibrate the whole keyboard, but I think that's not needed. So we have the distance, we have 1 key, multiple commands. That is crazy. So it looks like 4 depths per key. That is absolutely crazy. We have the long press switch, gamepad analog. So as I said, this literally is like an analog joystick, and we also have curves. We can go for a linear actuation or for a smooth one as well. Absolutely incredible. So back to the actuation distance, we can show it for each and every single key, and we can change it for the G letter, for example. We can go from 0.2 millimeters all the way to 3.8. So there are quite a lot of steps. We just click on submit, and now it's saved to the keyboard. Now we have this on 2 and this on 1.5. Wow. And we can also easily change the depth for all the keys with this button right there. And we also have the rapid trigger functionality right here. And by the way, we also always have tips right here. Really nice manual included inside of the launcher. For the rapid trigger, it looks like this. And this is the sensitivity of the quick trigger. So cool. And right here, that's a trigger demo right here. So when I press it, I can just slightly press it and go to the middle and then go all the way down. This is absolutely incredible. Look at that. Literally like a joystick. That is the coolest thing ever. We can also show and hide the trigger points. And right there, we can also test keys, right? Just a key tester. So that is already absolutely incredible. And now you can understand how it is possible to assign multiple commands to one key. So when we check the actuation distance, if we go just slightly in, we can trigger the first action. Close to the middle, the second one, after the middle, the third one, and when we press it down all the way, we can trigger the fourth one. And this can be used for all sorts of things. Really, your imagination is the only limit to this keyboard. And again, then there is also much more, but we have to move on, otherwise this video will be over 1 hour long. So next we have the key map, and this can be configured any way you want. So you can make the X, the F7 or whatever. So each key that you have, you can configure. And aside from the regular keys, you also have media shortcuts, volume up, down, all that good stuff. So spacebar, for example, we can make it the play pause button. And now with the enter, we can activate and pause songs. Let's change that back to the spacebar. We also have macros, 15 slots right there. So as you can see, when you mess up just like that, you can just reset the layout with a simple click, easy. If you remember, the Windows key is actually this one right there. When I hit Option, then this is actually the Windows key. So in here, I can easily switch it around. Then we also have special, wait, let me reset once again. We also have the special keys right there, and there is a ton. Then we also have lighting switches. That means you won't need the software necessarily if you set up your lighting control on a profile, for example. Tons of customs profile switches, for example, super handy. So we have the profile 1 right there, profile 2 right here. And now we can switch the profile 1, 2, 3. These are the profiles. And then we also have layer keys. Endless possibilities. Now let's go to the lighting. So here we can choose the brightness of the backlight. We have tons of different options, solid color for example, and we can choose the color green. Now it's green, of course. Let's go for blue, red, and the backlight intensity basically. Whoop, just like that. And with the light button, we can switch through the profiles, of course. It's not real time though, but it will correspond. Tons of different lighting options. The typing heat map is really cool. Oh, when you type a lot, then this key will get red. That's funny. That's the splash, actually, this one. I love this one. That's the splash. Okay, anyway, so for the macro slots, we have the macro display right here. Well, the macro segment. And right here we can record, for example, all sorts of combinations and stop that, then save it as a macro. So just usual macro recording stuff right there, but it's very detailed with dynamic or fixed delays, and you can also export and import macros, really cool. Okay, firmware update is self-explaining. Key test, same here. So if you want to see if everything works. So yeah, looking good to me. And since this is a new piece of hardware, you can also help to improve it. So if you find a bug, you can report it right here. Wow, that was quite the lengthy overview. Absolutely crazy. I did not expect that. Let's go for a typing test, just like that. I'm not a great typer, but this might be interesting to just go for a full-on typing test, just so you get a feel for this keyboard. And let me tell you, it not only feels amazing, it also sounds pretty dope. So let's go. Absolutely the finest ASMR, 73 WPM. This is an absolute premium device. Goes without saying. It's so satisfying in every way. Extremely nice build quality, and the customization possibilities with this are just next worldly, next level crazy, unbelievable. I mean, you saw it yourself. Your imagination is the only limiting factor to this keyboard. Just incredible hardware right there. Massive thumbs up from my side. This is completely next level awesome. For this, I will switch to the wired mode. This will also turn it off because we need the cable connection to actually upload pictures and stuff like that to the screen. And you can find the app in the download center. Right there is the cloud driver for Windows. And after installing it, we have it right here. So let's open it up and it will immediately recognize the device and connect to it. We have the German layout and the app is German as well. But here in the about, we can also change it to English.
So there we go. AKKO touched the fashion up there. We have main, functions, macros, screen, all the lighting presets we can share, animations and macros. The account we can also log in or register to save all the settings in the cloud. And we also have the about section with the app version, firmware, appearance and all of that good stuff. Really nice. So here main remap. Here we can change each key and remap it to any button, to any mouse action, to any macro, you name it, even combinations. For example, we can select the A and give it the My Computer shortcut right there, confirm that. So now when we click A, we will actually open up the File Explorer. We can easily reset this as well with the reset button, and we can do this with each and every key. And we also have up to 4 layers where we can pick and choose different key maps. So as you can see, all of them are at the default setting, and changing a key, for example, this one to mute, confirm, will look like this. So then we have the green background color in there. Again, reset and done. Here we also have other settings. Here we can change the key sensitivity. So let's retrieve the current settings, and there we go. So we can go from 1 to 10 in the sensitivity. Let's pick 3. Here we also have the auto time off functionalities from 1 to 5 to 60 minutes in all cases. Then we have the function settings, and here you can see the different background colors once again. And we have 2 function layers available. The red one cannot be modified since it's a system key, but the other ones can, of course. And we have this one, previous, play, pause, player, homepage, search, email and stuff like that. And on the first layer, we have this right here. Then we also have a dedicated and comprehensive macro recorder as well as editor in here. So let's record one. Stop it. And as you can see, we have the key up and downs. We have the delays in there. We can add, modify, delete them. This is really nice and fast to edit. 50 milliseconds. And just like that, we can save one. We can edit the name, test. We can add files, create folders, or also collapse folders. And of course, we can delete the macro just like that. As I said, we can also share light animations or also download tons and tons of user-made presets. It's the same for animations, for settings, and for macros. So let's check out the screen animations right there. There are some dope presets available, and as you can see, tons and tons of them can be loaded and can be used. And talking about the screen, let's pick this one. This one is looking pretty cool. Download. We can see it right here, and we can also see it on the screen right here. And there we go. Now we have this little cute fireball on the screen. And now let's check out the customize area right here. Here we first of all can draw any sort of image. Extremely beautiful. We can upload it just like that and check it out. Wow, that's really nice. But more interesting are of course the actions, namely uploading pictures or even animations. And we also have other settings such as the language sync, and we can also sync the time and also clear the screen from this beautiful piece of art right there. Now we have back the standard screen with the date and time and the mode. And that's pretty much it. So next, let's check out the lighting. So right here we have preset light mode, and here we have quite a few different presets available. We also can create custom modes or custom colors right there. So let's pick red. Right there, right there. And when we save it to the layer, we have a few whites and a few reds. I think you get the point. We also have the light strips on the side with also quite a few nice presets. So let's check out all the presets. So that's the custom one. Then we have the always on, and we also have a dazzle modifier. Without it, it's looking like that. And with the dazzle, it's getting the color variations. Then we have the breathe option right there, breathing in different colors. So when we turn off the dazzle, it's breathing in white. You get the point with the dazzle option, right? Then we have the meteor right there. This is called Aurora, absolutely beautiful. Here we have the raindrops. This is best without the dazzle, of course. Absolutely beautiful effect, just in white. And we of course also have a speed modifier. We can change the speed. This is called converge. Also a really nice looking effect. This right here is the steady stream, so a bit faster speed right there. That's what it's looking like. We have the zigzag, and we can also go with the return right there. This is called neon, which is a rainbow fade type of effect. Here we have the wave going down, and we can also switch it
to going up. This is called Stars Twinkle.
We have the sine wave right there. We have the flowing spring, nice 3D effect. We have flowers blooming, same here, looking pretty spacey. This right here is the laser, so we can shoot laser beams with a higher speed right there, really cool. Another interactive one would be the ripple right there, so when we press, we will create this shock wave. And also the like shadows right there. So we will leave a trail behind. This is peak turn, anti-clockwise, or right now clockwise. We have the inclined rain. This is called light trace. Endless right here, also a nice effect. We can also upload user pictures, and we have 2 music follow modes. And we also lastly have a light shadow mode where we can also pick and choose 2 shadow drives. Let's get the laser, and now let's go for a typing test. The keyboard looks and sounds really nice, so let's check my performance with it. Right on. And that's speed, that's the accuracy, great system key sounds. So yeah, absolutely massive thumbs up from my side. What an amazing keyboard. Yeah, and lastly we have the scroll wheel right there. We can control and mute the sound with this one. Really smooth and nice wheel. Not to forget, a clear 10 out of 10, especially for the price point. The app is called Windows Driver app, and you have to install it, and then you can open it up and it will recognize the device automatically, as you can see, and then we can enter the device. And by the way, if you're looking for the right language, it's all the way on the right, and here we have the language toggle. We can pick English. Here we can also select the startup, yes or no. We can update the firmware and also update the app version. We can also sign up for an account, and we can also share or download presets from users or even macros. Really cool. We can share animations, lights, and also check out video tutorials. Quite a substantial and comprehensive app. Love to see that. We can customize the lights. We'll check that out in a bit. We can set up the screen in detail as well. We can adjust it. We can even paint on it, or we can upload pictures as well. So when we save the picture, confirm, we can then upload it. Oh, but for that, we need to go wired. No problem. So I can also show you this. So let's hook it up and let's plug it in right there. We can now also turn off the wireless mode to save battery. And now, first of all, the keyboard is charging, and we can now also upload this picture. And it is as simple as that. We have it displayed on the screen. Beautiful. I know, it is absolutely beautiful. Right here we also have all the drawing tools like an eraser. We can choose different colors, make it more beautiful, but you get the point. Uploading a picture, of course, makes much more sense. The app also comes with a really nice macro recorder and editor. Let's create one right there, and we can start the recording. This is what it will look like. Stop the recording. We can add keys, clear it up. Then we have the main dashboard right there with the key map where we can customize every key. We can also set macros, media shortcuts. As you can see, there are many options, and also mouse buttons. For example, we can take the spacebar and then give it a stop function for the media and confirm. And simple as that, we can customize all the keys however we want them. Of course, also we can drop macros on each of those keys. And before we check out the best feature of this keyboard, namely the HE sensors or switches, let's check out the light settings. As you can see, the keyboard has a beautiful backlight going, fully RGB, capable and customizable. Right here we have tons of different options. We can also select the brightness as well as the speed, and we even have a dazzle option. So we have the dynamic breathing. So wow, and that's where the transparent nature of the keys really shines. So this is dynamic breathing. Here we have a spectrum cycle, the brightness from 0, 50% and all the way. And we also have different speeds for each mode, of course. So that's what it's looking like. Drift right here. Let's go up with the speed. And we can also select the mode to the right, to the left, and down, and also up. This is the waves ripple, really cool. This is Stars Twinkle. We also have a steady stream with the zigzag or return pattern. We have the shadowing. We have peaks rising one after another. Really cool lighting effects. This is the sine wave right here. Looking so cool. Kai spring surging. And then we have flowers blooming. Looks like that on the highest speed. This is the laser right there. Pew pew, pew 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 pew. That's actually cool. We have peak turn, colorful, horizontal and vertical. We have snow right there. We have meteor right there. We have through the snow. When we turn off the dazzle modifier, it looks like that. So all of these can be modified by the dazzle as well. The meteor, for example, without dazzle, looks like that. Lastly, a light shadow. And when it gets to that, there are different drives and we can even upload YouTube pictures, or there is even a music follow, well, 2 music follow modes. So the lighting effects are pretty amazing and quite extensive. But most importantly are, of course, the HE settings, the Hall effect switches. There are different presets. We have Comfort, which has the middle actuation point basically. We have Sensitive with a fast trigger and fast reset. We have Game presets right there, and we can customize them, of course. For example, the D button right there. We can fully customize the up and the press point right there from 0.1 millimeters to 3.7. That's the distance with a 0.1 millimeter precision. We can even set dead zones. So we could also go from 0 to 4, but a bit of a dead zone is actually great to have. And we can also simulate the demonstration. Now when you look at this right there, just tapping the key lightly will already register. And if you set the actuation point this high, then you can just literally barely tap the key and actuate the point, and you can press it all the way down through the bottom, so 0.1, 0.2, and it's literally that precise. We can set the actuation points for all buttons, and we can also activate the full quick trigger, and we can set this from 2.5 all the way to 0.2 millimeters. These are the stroke settings, and we even have advanced settings for inserting macros or multiple trigger points. For example, when we press down at 0.7 millimeters, all the way on the bottom at 3.5, then when we go back up and when we go almost up at 0.7, we can add up to 4 actuations per key. It's incredible, and you can do so many things with this. Just think about it, literally 4 actions with 1 key. That is just incredible for gaming, a literal game changer. And each actuation point can be a different command. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Your imagination is the only limiting factor when it gets to the HE tech. We have different layers. Let me just pick a layer that is still clean. And now let's just listen to the epic sound of this keyboard. Right on, there we go. I love typing with this keyboard, it's amazing. For this price point, the performance is outstanding. It feels really nice, it sounds awesome. Massive thumbs up from my side, it's unbelievable. It's right there, launcher.keychron.com. That's the companion app. It's a web-based app. So right here we can click on connect. Oh, for this we actually need to insert the cable. And no problem, so I can also show you this. We have USB-A with the connector, well, the adapter rather. Let's plug it in, go to cable and plug it in right here as well. And we're back online. So let's try that again. Connect, Keychron Q5 HE, connect. And there we have it. So first of all, right here in the settings, we can choose the language, English of course. In the HE segment, we can customize every key. We'll check that out in a bit. Here we have the key map. Right there we can change every key. For example, we can take the Q and
make a D out of it. Everything is possible. We also have media shortcuts as well as macros, special keys, and we can take each of those and place them anywhere on the keyboard. We also have lighting controls. I will put the RGB toggle right there, and I will put the mode minus right there for a test later on. And we also have custom buttons as well as layers right there. So as you saw, with just a key map, you can already do a ton. And the layers, you can also control them up here, layer 1, 2, and 3. All that we did was on layer 2, by the way. We can also reset the layout, export or import presets. The backlight, we will check it out in a bit. We can also create macros. For example, we can record them, and this is what it's looking like. We can set the delay, each key actuations and all of that stuff. So a really comprehensive macro recorder. Right here we can also check the firmware. Updating it is really easy thanks to this app. We can also test the keys. So just to see if they're all working correctly. That's what it's looking like. We can of course also report bugs. And again, lastly, the settings. We have device info right there, logs, and we can export JSON files and stuff like that. So next, let's check out all the awesome backlight settings. So in the app right there, we first of all have the brightness, we have the speed, and all of that will react in real time. And we have all the modes, 22 in total. And we can also cycle through them with the special key that I set up previously. So this key right here for turning it on and off, and this key right here for cycling through the different modes. So on, and first of all, let me go to none. So we have none. Number 1 would be solid color. We can select the brightness. I'm currently doing it with the mouse, and you could also go for shortcuts on the keyboard. It's extremely responsive. We can of course select any color. We have the full spectrum available, of course. Secondly, we have breathing. Let's go for red once more. And we can also select the speed. That's the fastest speed right there. That's the spiral right there. Number 4, cycle. Cycle left, right, from left to right. Cycle up, down. Rainbow moving chevron, cycle in out, cycle out in dual. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's looking interesting. Wow, that's crazy. Cycle pinwheel. Right on. We have this cycle spiral. Wow, that's crazy. Dual beacon. Really cool. A rainbow beacon. We have the jelly bean raindrops. We have the pixel rain as well. Let me restart it. Looks like that. That's really cool. When we start from 0. Typing heat map. So when we type a lot right there, it will get hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. And we have digital array. Looks like that. Reactive simple. So when we swipe over it, we can make it slower as well. And it will look like that. Reactive multi-wide. Looks like that. Reactive multi-nexus. We have the splash. That's cool. Slow speed and really high speed. And we have the solid splash. Looks like that. With a slower speed. Really cool. So let's move on to the HE mode. The HE settings, the most interesting aspect of this keyboard, without a question. We also have different profiles available, as you can see, especially for gaming, for example. And down here we have the actuation distance, one key multiple commands, long press switch, gamepad analog, and also curves. First of all, we have the actuation distance. When we press a button, where should it activate? When we press it all the way down or all the way up here. So for example, on the W, we can change it from 0.2 millimeters or all the way down to 3.8 millimeters. It will also change the depth right here. So all of them are set at 2 millimeters, which would be right here, but we can change them also to 0.2. Then we just need to tap it to activate this key. And we can also set all operation distances at once. For example, at 0.5, submit, and now it's all set. We can also activate the rapid trigger, and when we go advanced, we can also set the release as well as the press distance. So for example, right there, if we do it like this, it would basically reset extremely quickly, and we can also do this for all of them. So like this, for example, now we have the 1-1 on each. When we go for the W, we can also go for a trigger demo. So when we just tap it slightly, it will jump around in this range. And when we press it all the way through, basically all the way to the bottom, we have the full travel distance. So from 0 to 4 millimeters with a 0.1 millimeter precision. It will behave like a joystick, and that means you can set the actuation point everywhere you want. And best of all, you can also go for different actuation points with just one key. So for the W, for example, we can also configure that even further. But as you can see, we have a 1.5 millimeter press down activation, a bottom in activation when we go back bottom out, and a bounce back when we go back up all the way. So right here we could set 4 different actuations for one key. And to visualize this even better, let's set this key for left and this key for right. Look at this one right there. When I just tap it a bit, this is what it looks like when I just tap it a bit. And when I slowly press it through all the way, as you can see, it will pick up the actual position of the key. The blue one is the left one and the right one is the red one. I could also go for left up and left down. Now we can also control it like this. Absolutely incredible what you can do with this keyboard. So now with the arrow buttons, I can precisely control the point inside of this circle. Without the HE tag, you could only do this basically, all the way on the outside of the circle. But thanks to the Hall effect sensing, we can also precisely control it anywhere else inside of the circle. We can go up, to the left, down, right, wherever we want, or also like that. It's extremely precise, and as I said, basically every key acts like a joystick. You have so many crazy options with this system. So let's go to a regular profile right there, reset the layout, let's go. And now let's go for a typing test. So let's listen to the awesome sound of this keyboard. Just awesome. Goes without saying I'm not a great typer, but typing with this keyboard actually feels amazing, and I think I'm typing a lot better than with any other keyboard. So there we go. All of these are extremely amazing keyboards. I hope this was helpful, a helpful guide for deciding which one is best for you. If you want to try the HE switches, the magnetic Hall effect switches, I can highly recommend it. So spending a few more bucks is definitely no wrong choice here, but all of them are definitely drippy. They are all listed and linked in the description, so check it out. And again, if you want to recover lost, corrupted or deleted files, then check out Recoverit as well, first link in the description. But before you go, smash that like button, then subscribe, ring the bell and click all to never miss amazing tech magnet videos. That's it for this one, enjoy it and I will see you soon.